Hello there, Vaka here with mission number 3 of The Enemy Within. Now that we've got some more supplies, we're about ready to begin our operations. Today's flight is a simple but slightly technical one. It requires some precise timing, as you will see. We're going to do a little bit of a show of force, some public morale boosting, and then get a bit of a tour of the area of operations we're going to be working in here. They did give us a bit of a light loadout, but who knows, maybe we'll actually get to use it on this one. Hope you enjoy mission number 3. Now, here's the full briefing.
The briefing room in Kabaleti Airport is located in a small, old barracks not far from the tower. Pilots and mechanics sit on plastic chairs in a room containing a chalkboard, projector, and a medium-sized screen. As usual, mission preparation is divided into two sections, intelligence and tasking. The first one is being presented by Major Nicholas Gray, Squadron Intelligence Officer.
Welcome to Georgia. To all those who arrived yesterday on board a ship, gentlemen, I'm sure you all know why we are here. In short, it seems that another front in the war against terror has just opened in Georgia. A group calling itself the Caucasus Liberation Army, or CLA for short, has struck at least 12 targets, both civilian and military, throughout the country in the last few weeks. The first attack happened just after Georgia was promised a membership action plan by NATO in September 2011. Others followed between then and 15 March, when 14 Georgian conscripts were killed in a suicide bomb attack on barracks near Gorhi. We have witnessed the last one upon arrival of our hogs, when 2 civilian buildings were bombed to lure our planes into the trap. For those who just came here, let me repeat some basic facts. After the attacks, Georgian authorities asked NATO for help in containing the threat. So far, no decision has been taken by the alliance. However, President Obama decided to support the new potential NATO member and sent a number of A-10s from the 74th Fighter Squadron. So, here we are. We do not know too much about the CLA, apart from the fact that it is a militant Islamic organization which originated somewhere in North Caucasus. It might have links to Caucasus Emirate, yet this remains to be confirmed, as the latter is seen mainly as an anti-Russian movement, while CLA seems to be more anti-Western. While our boys in the CIA and other agencies sort this out, we have a job to do here. The morale among Georgian people is currently low as terror is spreading. Our arrival here is seen almost as a miracle, which you could have easily observed at the airport. Our first task is to help government contain the descent. The Pentagon wants us to be visible. That his command came up with a simple plan, but more on that from Colonel Barry. Colonel?
Major Gray sits down, and another officer takes his place in front of the screen. Colonel Rick Skipper Barry is a tall man in his early 40s, liked by both pilots and his superiors.
Thank you, Major. You are to lead a 4-ship flight, call sign Dodge 1, to Tbilisi. Your main task is to perform a low-level overfly at the National Stadium there, arriving exactly at 1200 local time. You will be guided by Rockman, who departed for the capital yesterday. His call sign is Beholder. Local authorities have been forewarned about the flight plan, and the information has been given to the media, so expect quite a crowd down there. Additionally, elements of our own 824th BDS have been placed along the route, and especially between waypoints 3 and 4, where you will descend to 750-foot AGL. It is imperative that you stick to the fragged altitudes, which are available in your kneeboards. Make sure to study the documents well before you depart. Make sure to switch on your RWRs and set up the defensive program. Enemy tried to get us once already and may do so again. After takeoff, make a few circles around the airport to get in formation, and then push towards waypoint 1. One more thing. Strictly keep to your flight plan, as Georgian helicopters will be orbiting the main cities. They are aware of your arrival, just make sure you will be exactly where they expect you to be. After the flyby, turn towards waypoint 5 and climb to Angels 15. Wait for Hunter 11 to join up with you. Hunter is a Georgian liaison officer that will be with us throughout this deployment. You will patrol over CLA-held territory with him, and he will provide you with more information about the enemy. If you encounter any of these bastards, contact Overlord and request orders. You will be carrying live weapons, and I want you to make good use of them if need be. Any questions? Good. To your planes, gentlemen.
Alright, Dodge Flight, heads up, takeoff briefing. We're going to go with 10-second separation, flaps maneuvering until 180 knots, and then we're going to climb out at 5 degrees till everybody's in formation. We'll go ahead and increase our speed and continue our climb to level off at 15,000. We're going to get above 10,000 as soon as possible, since the Georgian Intelligence Service and our intel have determined the Mad Hat attack probability is very high. So we're not going to take any chances until we get to Tbilisi. Any questions?
2, negative. 3, no questions. 4, all clear, good to go.
Caballetti, Dodge 1-1, request takeoff.
Dodge 1-1. Caballetti, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.82.
Alright, leads rolling.
Everything's green. Wait for about 130. Rotating. Here.
Leads, gear up.
Rolling.
Flaps coming up. Maintaining that 180.
Saddle.
And Dodge Flight, set climb power.
Hold up, is the throttle position between full and idle?
Alright, we should be above man-pad threat level at this point, but configure and arm your countermeasures and keep your eyes outside the aircraft. We're going to leave our nav lights on until we get to Tbilisi because we want to be seen by the locals. This sortie is designed to boost their morale.
Well, in that case, we should be going really low over the major cities. Nothing boosts morale like the sound of hogs' engines. Don't forget about the sound of the gun. I'm not sure if that would be entirely appropriate.
The Georgians wanted us to fly as low and slow as possible over as many cities and towns as we could along the way. That idea was immediately dismissed by the colonel. I believe his exact words were, "That's a damn stupid idea," because losing a hog to terrorists on the second day of the operation is not exactly his idea of boosting the locals' morale.
Can't say I disagree. That road from the port to the airfield yesterday was completely crazy.
It was indeed.
I feel like that's maybe a little shout out to the previous versions of these missions.
Okay, let's go through the general plan for this sortie. We're going to stay above 150 until we get to waypoint 3. Then we'll start our descent. I want you guys to be extra careful at this point because this is where we're going to be the most vulnerable. The Georgians have placed patrols along our flight path, but keep that finger on that countermeasure switch. We'll check in with Rockman when we get in closer. He's going to be directing us today. We'll level out at 750 AGL over Tbilisi, and we'll try to make a good impression. Then we'll turn north, climb out to 15,000. We're going to orbit, and we're going to wait for Hunter 1-1 to rejoin. We're going to follow him to the northern part of the country, where there's big swaths that are under the de facto control of the CLA.
Who is this guy? Is he the one that's going to be briefing us?
He's a major in their intelligence service. He's our liaison with the Georgian Army throughout our deployment here.
Good, maybe give me some intel on where the good bars and clubs are.
Well, you feel free to liaise with him on that right after the sortie, okay?
So at this point, other than just flying the waypoint route,
Will we go over the mountains that they're allegedly getting their weapons through from Chechnya?
Negative. GIS believes that only part of the shipments go through the mountain ranges. In fact, they think the Russians are turning a blind eye on truckloads full of ammo and equipment that are going through the Roki Tunnel in South Ossetia.
Turning a blind eye or actively supporting?
We'll ask the Georgian Major later during the sortie. For now, just relax and enjoy the view.
so yeah, other than being on course, the other thing that's important about this is making sure that we fly over. Okay, that's fine. I'll finish this thought. Is to make sure that we arrive at waypoint 4 at exactly 1200 local. So I just typed in 120000, and you press that button right there, and it puts that's my desired time on target for waypoint 4. So now if I go into the HUD and select waypoint 4, it says right now I'm going to arrive 26 seconds early. It says that 247 is the desired airspeed. I kind of already checked that out. So I'm kind of building myself up a little bit of a lead between here and waypoint 2 to try to get ahead of the time. I'll actually probably pick up a lot of speed in the descent from 15,000 to 750 AGL. That's about a 12,000 plus foot descent, if I remember rightly. So I'll pick up a little bit of speed there, but nevertheless, I don't want to arrive late because it's, you know, it's a Warthog. I don't exactly have afterburners to light and get there sooner. So just maintain that discipline, making sure that I'm arriving at waypoint 4 on time. But I'm going to kind of keep speeds, you know, on check with what it says I need to. Actually pull back a little excess throttle, so I'll fix that here in a second. But alright, let's no, they can chat. It's fun.
Hey, Captain, been meaning to ask you, how's that Herc ride coming into Georgia? I enjoyed every second of it. I actually spent most of the time in the pit chatting with the pilots. Well, since you spend so much time talking to them, maybe you can answer me this. What's a 130 need 4 people in the pit for? I mean, I get the pilot and the co. What are the other 2 for? Actually, the other 3. You also have a navigator, flight engineer, and a loadmaster. See, that's what's been bugging me. I mean, you got 2 pilots in a huge pit. You got all your nav info and more on those MFDs. What the hell do you even need a nav for? Hey, do I look like some sort of C-130 expert? I just flew in one to Georgia.
And Dodge Flight, push 142.3, stand by for check-in with Beholder.
Alrighty there.
And Beholder, Dodge 11 checking in as frag, passing waypoint 2, how copy?
Dodge 11, Beholder, you're looking good. You're expected here at 1200 sharp. Descend to 750 feet AGL at waypoint 4, then pull up, turn left, and climb out. Orbit at waypoint 5 and rendezvous with Hunter.
And Dodge Flight copies all. We'll check in at waypoint 3 before we descend. Dodge Flight, TOT for waypoint 4, 1200.
Check and check.
12 o'clock set. 3 time set. 4. You have to admit, country sure is beautiful. Yeah, we'll just wait until we get over the mountains. The views there are absolutely amazing. So I've heard. Pretty tall, right? Yeah, they are. I think the highest peak is about 17,000 feet. Somewhere near the Russian border. That's actually pretty smart, keeping the Russians behind a huge mountain range. Yeah, and the best thing about Georgia is Borjomi National Park. Make sure you try Borjomi mineral water if you can.
It's not just famous here, but Russia too.
You seem to know a hell of a lot about this country.
Well, that would be because my wife is Armenian. We spent around 2 years in South Caucasus.
Oh, okay, cool. I won't want to pick your brain after we land then.
And we're coming up on waypoint 3. I'll be contacting Beholder in 5.
Yep, so we're about 17 seconds now. I've reset my altitude warning for 700 AGL. Should be about 750. I'll be looking at the radar altimeter there. 5 seconds. Alright, I'm going to switch to waypoint 4. Power down, turning in, contacting.
Beholder, Dodge 1-1, checking in waypoint 3, preparing for descent.
Copy that, Dodge 1-1. Be advised, Georgian forces have secured the area below you. You should be good to go, but better keep your eyes open.
Copy.
Okay, now, so I'm going to try to match the desired airspeed.
Heads up, you have helicopters hovering at 1,000 feet AGL, around 2,000 feet south and southeast from your route.
Okay.
Copy. Dodge flight, descend to frag altitude, maintain formation, check countermeasures.
2.
3, roger. 4.
Making sure I get myself fairly centered on top of the route. It's a CDI for nav too, if I like. So I'm as on point as I can be. Trying to build up a little bit of lead on that arrival time.
Beholder, Dodge
Altitude,
1-1 is at
altitude.
750 feet AGL, approaching waypoint 4.
Dodge 1-1, roger. Hurry up, you're behind schedule.
Alright guys, keep your formation tight and let's do this.
Dodge flight, Beholder, good work. People love you.
We weren't behind schedule, we were right on.
Yeah, copy that, Rockman. Enjoy your time there. Represent us well. Dodge flight's pushing to waypoint 5 and checking in with Hunter. Dodge flight's out.
That was a whole lot of people down there. Did you hear all that cheering in the background? This is definitely one of those places where they do want to see the U.S. troops.
Yeah, but come on guys, we can act like heroes when we actually root out the terrorists. So far we haven't really done anything aside from looking good.
That's because it's not just what you do, but also how you do it that counts.
Alright, I'm going to climb steeply up to 15,000 again. I believe it was a 230 indicated at that point. Let's see. 220. 220. Okay, I gotta get that climb going though. I also need to shift the flight. Oops, not nav. Echelon left.
Flight, go, echelon left.
I did it on the wrong radio. Duh. Let's see, flight. Can't hit the right keys.
Flight, go, echelon left.
Let's check the replay, but I'm pretty sure I flew over that stadium precisely at 1200. Definitely within 2 seconds. Tell me I'm behind schedule, please. I'm gonna accelerate to 220 indicated.
Alright, let's anchor here and wait for Hunter to rejoin.
Pretty sure. Oh no, that's right. No, that was Rockman that I tuned up. All right. Let's see. Hunter's 44.3, which is close. 44.3. Confirm this. Yep, 44.3.
Dodge 1-1, this is Hunter 1-1. We have a visual coming from the south at 15,000 feet.
And Hunter 1-1, Dodge 1-1, copy. Cleared to join up when able.
Yep, everybody went for echelon left. 220 indicated, slightly high. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that altitude, get that 100 foot out.
Hunter 1-1 is information.
Fantastic.
Roger that. We're pushing to waypoint 6. Okay, we're all ears. Looking forward to learning more about the situation.
Thank you. When we were preparing your flight plan, we decided to take you to the edge of the area which is no longer under effective Tbilisi control. And contrary to what you'll hear in Georgian TV channels, it's quite a big part of the country.
Don't want no one to panic, huh?
Of course, but I can't stress enough how much your arrival here means to us. Your 6 jets are like a whole army coming to our aid, and we need assistance. I'll be frank with you, the situation, also from the military point of view, is very bad. We've been effectively pushed out from a big part of our land. We'll get there pretty soon, a whole large area between Oni and Guritan. Everything north of that line, save for some major roads and a few settlements, is controlled by the CLA. They're claiming this area is to become a new caliphate.
Is it that bad? You've got a regular army, helicopters, airplanes. You should be able to fight back.
Well, in theory, yes. But the area they control is very unforgiving and difficult, with high mountains and thick forests. We also believe that the CLA is getting a constant flow of reinforcements. The battle-hardened veterans from the Chechen wars from the north, and also trainers from Hezbollah arriving from the south.
That sounds really serious. Any estimates on their numbers?
Well, as we don't have access to the territory they control, we can't tell how many have arrived. We only get sporadic data from the people that managed to escape from the new caliphate. But there is not enough info to draw a clear picture. But we know that civilians are not allowed to leave. They're also being killed, used as slaves, or worse.
What about their equipment? What do they have access to?
Well, whatever they can bring over the mountains from Chechnya. They use donkeys, so mostly light equipment, including man-pads and machine guns, which they later mount on the trucks. There are rumors, however, that they managed to bring some heavy stuff as well, including APCs, with quite constant of the Russians.
I heard they would do anything to undermine your government, but creating a new potentially hostile entity
distant their borders? I doubt it. Who knows where the CLA would strike next? If we didn't take them out, which we will of course.
Speaking of which, do we know who their leaders are? Usually it's enough just to cut the head off the snake.
No, or several heads. We're still trying to determine who's running the whole operation. We'll share it with you once we're certain of the ID and the role played in the organization. But I agree, taking on a few high-value targets will be a crucial part of the whole campaign. Alright, if there are no more questions, so shut up for a moment and let you enjoy the views. We'll soon turn towards the mountains and main CLA hideouts north and northwest of M03.
Okay, so after waypoint 6, waypoint 7 is up another 1,000 foot. Just kind of lightly increase power and make a gentle climb. It also says not to exceed 300 knots ground speed, so that's not the worst thing in the world to figure out. Easily you can kind of do function and then the hack button to bring up the position page on the CDU. Normally might be like another page. Oops. Did not mean to do that. That's alright. Looking at this, normally it's in indicated, but you can go true airspeed and ground speed, and so I can just kind of use that as a reference. Oops, and there's my altitude. As I fly along and make sure that I keep a good ground speed, not to exceed 300. We are now about 30 seconds from waypoint 7. I'm actually going to go ahead and start my turn towards waypoint 8. Looking at the map, this is all CLA territory out here. All these villages, I guess. Pretty much everything in front of me, to the right, to the left. So definitely not the place we want to get shot down right now, that's for sure.
Alright, the area till 2 o'clock and extending north and west from there is mostly controlled by the CLA. As I mentioned, we're maintaining several checkpoints inside and also trying to patrol the outskirts. But for the moment, the goal is rather to try and keep the terrorists away from the TCT than to retake any of the land. As you can see, these are mostly highlands, mountains, and forests. The enemy is keeping the training camps and supply depots there.
So you think they might have some armored vehicles at their disposal?
They most certainly do. I think I didn't mention that we lost contact with several of our patrols in Cobras, BTR-80s, and BMPs. Some probably were destroyed, but others could have, most probably were captured. There's also an issue of some of the soldiers that could have switched sides.
Whoa, could have switched sides? We're talking treason here. You mean to tell me your soldiers defected and joined the terrorists? They have Georgian vehicles and uniforms? Don't tell me what kind of trouble they can start.
That is why I told you that the situation was really bad. We're working on the clock to find out who the leaders are and where do they operate from.
This is 2, heads up. Smoke and fires on our 2 o'clock.
Leads visual. Go ahead and go sensors in on that area and we'll have a look.
This is Hunter 1-1. I can see some smoke and fire at 2 o'clock. Can you have a closer look at that?
Hunter 1-1, Dodge Flight's tally, standby.
tally a group of vehicles and some armed foot mobiles. Looking at a village, grid 38, Tango, Kilo November, 9441 4518.
Alright, let's get these coordinates in. Let's see. Change this. I think it said.
Okay, Dodge 1-1's tally on a group of foot mobiles holding 4 people in Georgian uniforms against a wall. Tangos are raising their weapons and taking aim. There's also an APC and Cobra close by. Gunner's wearing a Georgian uniform but is also aiming at the soldiers. They started shooting. This is an execution.
Warning, autopilot.
The bastards. Do you see any other forces in the area?
A couple of SUVs and some trucks, and there's some more foot mobiles with rifles.
White one, let me contact my superiors.
Contact target 7 o'clock, port 2. Contact target 7 o'clock, port 2. Contact armored target 7 o'clock, port 2.
Dodge 1-1 Hunter, my command confirms they've lost contact with the patrol in this area. They want you to eliminate the terrorists.
Dodge 1-1 copies. Wait 1, contacting Overlord.
They were on 24-5, right? 24-5.
Overlord, Dodge 1-1. Dodge 1-1 is tally on large group of tangos setting fire to civilian buildings at grid 38 Tango, Kilo November 944452. They just executed 4 Georgian soldiers. We're requesting permission to engage.
Dodge 1-1, Overlord, copy your last. Tango's at grid Kilo November 944452. Stand by.
Dodge 1-1 standing by.
It's pretty tight quarters to get all those guys.
Dodge 1-1, Overlord, you are cleared hot. I repeat, cleared hot.
Alright.
Dodge 1-1 copies, cleared hot. Hunter 1-1, Dodge flight. Go find a shady spot with a good view. Dodge flight's in hot.
Hunter 1-1, understood. Take out that APC first. I'd rather see it destroyed than used by the CLA against us.
Yeah, I agree.
Copy.
Okay, so my plan of action here is I'm going to go in with rockets and probably a gun run to follow it up, just to hit that main group. Once I get into a better position, I'm going to have my flight anchor, and then I'm going to call in 2 for a gun run to eliminate anything else I missed.
Flight, anchor here.
Okay, Dodge 1-1 is in hot. Okay, I'm visual on the APC.
Dive hit. 2, ejecting. Dive hit.
That doesn't sound great. I'm gonna guess they either hit the terrain or each other.
Pull up, pull up. Altitude, altitude.
He's hiding by a house. Gonna have to take the shot anyway, I think.
Pull up, pull up. Pull up, pull up. Altitude, altitude. Pull up, pull up.
They're not like, it looks like some of them are still there.
Flight. Engage targets of opportunity. 4, roger.
Okay, so 3 got
4,
damaged
primary.
and is heading home. And 4 is still operational. 4 is going in.
Pull up, pull up. Altitude, altitude.
4, rockets away.
Pull up, pull up.
Rockets away. 4, rounds on target.
Looks like this truck is like half glitched into a building there. From this angle, maybe 4 will hit it. Let's see.
4, guns. 4, target destroyed.
Good job. Alright. Yeah, sure enough.
And Overlord, Dodge 1-1, we are off the target back at the IP. All targets in the area splashed.
Dodge 1-1, Overlord. Roger that. You are cleared to RTB.
Hunter, Dodge. Enemy units in that area destroyed. We're at the end of our mull time. We are RTB.
Roger. It was an incredible show. I think we should make the recordings public. Okay, we're turning back to Vazeni now. I'll arrive in Kabul late in the evening and should be joining most of your briefings from now on.
Copy all, Hunter. We'll see you. Dodge 1-1 flight, push, FM.
Alright, it took a few passes, but we got them all. Didn't help that I had half of my flight. Since the other 2 did, I don't know what. mission dev said you got to be wary of the AI in DCS because it does do some funky stuff, and it does. Oops. Double click that. All right, we're gonna turn back towards home now.
Did you all see what happened? These poor guys were cut in half by that machine gun fire. Yeah, I saw it. It was personal before because they shot at my plane. Now they definitely crossed the line. One, put me on the roster for the next sortie. Can't wait to smoke these bastards some more.
We'll talk about the flying schedule when we get back. This is going to be a long debrief. Alright people, let's head home. Maintain radio silence till we're over the base. Leads out.
It was probably more than a dozen soldiers all in all. 2 trucks, 2 UAZs, and then that APC definitely splashed that. It's good to see though that the guy, the mission maker here, was smart enough to kind of, like, you can see the 2 and 3 are still talking, even though 2 is splashed. I don't know, he crashed somewhere, and 3 is limping back to base damage. It doesn't regard AI mistakes as a penalty against you, which is pretty awesome to see. I did obviously have to deal with the limitation of not having as many weapons at my disposal with 2 airplanes being taken out of the picture. That really, you see, it worked out fine. I did dry out my cannon, and I know Ford dried out all of his rockets and probably about half his gun, but we got all the targets eventually. So it worked out. It was pretty fun too. Didn't get shot at or anything, other than some light arms fire, I think, coming off that APC before it got splashed. Alright, on down, getting ready to turn into final. Overall, I think it was a great mission. I think things went pretty good. Bagged some bad guys there. All in all, great. I hope you guys enjoyed it.